The big industries impacted by the coronavirus crisis is the meat industry, leading to shortages at many grocery store chains. But butchers in Western Mass we spoke to say their locally sourced supply is still available. Western Mass News reporter Sabrina Riley has more on why the coronavirus is again driving people to shop local.
People have gone from buying their meat on a philosophical basis maybe to it's become very practical to buy your meat locally.
Corsello Butcheria in East Hampton is locally owned, operated, and supplied. And since the coronavirus crisis began, owner Vincent Corsello says he's seen a sharp spike in business. Initially because of a wave of support for local business, but now it's largely due to the national meat shortage.
If they have to shut down, even for a few days, there's this huge backup, right? And so the farmers can't bring their animals for processing, the employees can't work, and so the supply chain starts to break down really quickly.
He says customers are frustrated with the lack of supply and increased prices at grocery store chains.
So this meat that they're in the grocery stores, it's going up. The prices are ballooning because there's this anticipated shortage. It's not that the shortage is actually here yet.
But even with the increase in customers, they tell Western Mass News they've actually been able to keep up with the demand because of their local farmers. All of their meat comes from a 40-mile radius of the farms in towns like Sunderland, Whately, and Ashfield, something that will help keep their prices low.
The beauty about local meat is that I'm still connected with my farmers. My farmers, unless they, from market forces, let's call it, need to go and get a higher price or need to charge me a higher price, my prices are going to stay the same. They're not going to go up because we're connected locally, right? And what happens in Nebraska isn't going to necessarily affect what happens here.
And as for how long this meat shortage could last, he says it largely depends on how the virus develops. But his hope is that in the end, it will help change the future of the meat industry, with consumers mentally shifting to buy local.
I don't have a crystal ball. I would like to think that it changes everybody's attitude, but we'll see. We'll hope for the best.
In East Hampton, Sabrina.
A local pastor says he's considering suing Governor Charlie Baker as churches remain closed. Dr. Jim Montoro, pastor at Pioneer Valley Baptist Church, says he is working with attorneys and speaking with other pastors about filing a class action lawsuit against Baker. They believe their constitutional rights to worship have been violated. Montoro was among the 260 Massachusetts pastors who sent a letter to the governor last week asking for churches to be considered essential. Montoro says he has a plan for reopening his church to ensure the health and safety of parishioners. Retail shopping, stores, and restaurants will open across the border in Connecticut next week. Restaurants will initially only offer outdoor dining services, and tables will be spaced out a little more than normal because business owners will be required to keep customers at least 6 feet apart. Some restaurant owners feel the state is not being aggressive enough and are calling for indoor dining to resume as early as June 3rd, but the governor says that won't happen until at least June 20th. That's when a second phase of the reopening could take place, which may also include gyms, outdoor graduations, and even outdoor weddings. Governor Lamont says he understands why some people are frustrated, but insists reopening must be a gradual process.
May 20th is not going to be a light switch that turns on. I think it'll phase in over a period of time.
The governor also announced yesterday that breweries and wineries can reopen on May 20th for outdoor services as long as they have a food truck available to serve diners. This compromise was reached to alleviate fears of drunk driving. One of Connecticut's largest malls will welcome back shoppers and reopen next week. WESTFARMS Mall will open its doors at 11 a.m. on May 20th. Mall hours will be on a reduced schedule. WESTFARMS says staff will clean and disinfect throughout the day and after hours. Furniture and seating areas and common areas will be removed to allow for better social distancing. The mall will also offer curbside pickup in designated areas. The plastic bag tax set to return on Friday in Connecticut will now be suspended until the end of June. The governor suspending the 10-cent plastic bag tax at stores back in March over concerns reusable bags could spread COVID-19. Yesterday, Governor Lamont said the bag tax would come back Friday, but later signed an executive order suspending the tax again until June 30th. New at 4:30, there's a stillness across college campuses as schools are shut down due to the pandemic. But at Northeastern University, a plan is in the works to return to normalcy. Speaking to CNN, the president of Northeastern University outlined a plan to bring students back to campus. He said he believes the college can reopen in the fall and ensures that everybody is safe and secure, but that it's not going to be easy.
It's going to involve that we rethink every single aspect of what we do. We have to rethink the classroom density. We have to rethink the density in the labs. We're in the dorms. As a matter of fact, we just secured 2,000 additional beds to accommodate a lesser density.
The plan would include in-person classes with a focus on physical distancing. New safety protocols will also include staggered business hours, the use of face masks, and increased cleaning of the building. There will also be large-scale testing and contact tracing. Staff from the Wilbraham and Monson Academy drove around Western Mass today to deliver yard signs to local students. The staff was joined by the beloved mascot, Titan. They kicked off their morning at about 8:30, delivering the signs to seniors in 13 towns across Western Mass, including Wilbraham, South Hadley, Ludlow, Springfield, and Agawam. Western Mass News spoke to one senior. He says the lawn signs are a great way for the community to stay connected through these hard times.
It was a nice surprise. Seeing everybody here showing their support, it's really nice, especially not having to see everybody at the end of the year, not getting to say goodbye. It's a nice way to see everybody.
The mascot, Titan, and staff will continue delivering yard signs until 8 o'clock this evening. And for more coverage on the coronavirus emergency as it develops, you can log on to our free streaming Western Mass News app.